People's awakening through a seminar on food and awareness by her unique three-dimensional method that resonates with the five senses. And she'll be telling us all about it. Please welcome her. Now, she may be speaking a little longer than the rest because Morgan Lee wasn't able to be with us, so she is alone on the panel, so she has more space.
Hello. Hello. I am grateful and honored to have the opportunity to share Japanese new movement of awakens femininity. Growing food, growing me, growing world. Tubu-Tubu Future Food movement in Japan, recovering balance of mind and body and awakening femininity. I established future living laboratory called Tubu-Tubu 33 years ago. Since then, I have proposed be the new you, and let us women be genuine life scientists. Created Tubu-Tubu Future Food or traditional grain-based diet, which is right for the mechanism of the human body and rules of life. Tubu-Tubu is a nickname which I gave to traditional grain. Tubu-Tubu is a new style of traditional grain-based vegetarian cuisine. Tubu-Tubu is a suggestion for a way of living that helps you be consistent with the mechanism and laws of the natural world. As a young woman, I had a growing number of questions. Who am I? Why was I born here? Why do wars continue, although everyone hopes for peace? What is the meaning of being a woman? I couldn't keep my mind from seeking answers to the many questions that I had pursued since childhood. In addition, I began to wonder if our society was heading in the wrong direction. I saw people's mental and physical health continue to worsen as an excessive emphasis on materialism and economic growth escalated. So I decided to get rid of all the area influences and started a journey to search for the real me. At the age of 30, I, by chance, encountered traditional grains, some of which were endangered species. I was surprised at the fact that there were such varieties of grains. Why did such a delicious and nutritious foods that our ancestors had been living on for generation after generation disappear? This was the time when my quest for real food and life began. Tubu-Tubu. Many kinds of traditional grains in Japan. all we need to live for 1 year. Moreover, I came across an astonishing theory. People can live for 1 year on 60 kilograms or 132 pounds of traditional grain. It is equivalent to 1 traditional Japanese straw bags like this. Grains sufficient to nourish 1 person is packed in eco-friendly containers made of rice straw, which easily go back to the soil, and these are piled up in storehouses. I was deeply impressed with this simple wisdom. I felt intuitively that I could find answers to my earlier questions by seeking for genuine wisdom of food. I conducted research on the history of food from all over Japan, as well as the food practices of indigenous people from around the world. I read many books and documents regarding food and the human body, including physiology, quantum physics, cell biology, vibrational medicine, genetics, Eastern philosophy, and macrobiotics from the standpoint of ordinary people. This is the balance sheet of food and life, which I created. Tubu-Tubu Future Food can be explained by this theory. This balance sheet is a reference guideline for healthy food and healthy body, and it shows the ion and acid alkali balance. The vertical axis is the scale based on the ion theory of food. The higher a food is in the chart, the more young potassium it is. On the contrary, the lower a food is in the chart, the more young sodium they are. According to the Indian theory, a slightly young meal in total is essential in order to balance bodily function and maintain body temperature. The horizontal axis of the balance sheet, the other essential indicator for dietary health, is acidity and alkalinity of food. The more light the food is, the more alkaline it is, and the more left, the more acidic. The human body functions well when balance is maintained, in which the blood is slightly alkaline in average. By consuming a slightly alkaline meal composed of neutral to alkaline food. What located in the center? What located in the center is grain, especially traditional grains. And grain is a food that includes various necessary nutrients for the human body. In addition, the ion degree is neutral, and acid alkali degree in blood is also adequate. Hence, a large intake of grain as our staple food does not disrupt the physical balance of either indicator. traditional grain with rice. Six kind of grains in here. And salt, and fire, and water. Traditional Japanese diet in total draws the cycle as slightly alkaline and slightly young in the balanced seed. This one. Here is plant, here is salt, here is chemical, and refined salt or sugar, and animal food. And this is the traditional meals. This clearly indicates that the Japanese traditional diet lifestyle, which mostly didn't include daily animal food or sugar, maintained the sound, healthy balance. Oh, this is modern diet. Tubu-Tubu Future Food is a new diet system created to suit modern lifestyle and mind making use of the rhythm and techniques of original traditional Japanese diet. It makes it possible to practice physiologically and psychologically balanced, healthy and morality-rich dietary life. If you are interested in knowing more about this balance sheet, my thesis would be available on the website in English. Oh, this is Japanese common Japanese traditional meal. It's perfect. This is the Tubu-Tubu Future Food balance. Traditional grains and seasonal plants and salt and fermented salt. It's very beautiful. The birth of Tubu-Tubu Future Food. Tubu-Tubu vegetarian. No meat, no eggs, no milk, no sugar. However, there is the reality that modern Japanese who grew up separated from the traditional diet are not able to be satisfied without exciting and topical dishes based on commercialism. Then I began to enjoy creating modern people's favorite food and sweet with traditional grains by designing them into fascinating and delicious dishes and offering them to families and many others. I moved to the countryside and I'm growing grains, tubu-tubu. This is yellow millet. I can make many types dishes, very delicious. And this is foxtail millet. Yeah, I can make donuts without sugar, without eggs, without this is without cheese, pizza, gratin. Oh, this is donut. This looks like donuts, but the rice, cooked grains. This is cooked grains, simple. This is sorghum. I can make many type dishes, especially hamburger. 100% vegetarian hamburger. Meatball, hamburger, and this is not milk, fermented grains. Very good for our stomach. And this looks like chocolate, and also tastes chocolate, but sugar-free, milk-free, caffeine-free, fermented sweet sorghum. Not chocolate, but taste chocolate. Oh, barnyard millet. I can make cream without milk or cream. Many types. This is looks like custard, but sugar-free, milk-free, sweet millet. No eggs, no sugar, no milks. Same. Buckwheat sausage is very delicious. And rice. And this amaranth. Amaranth that looks like the low, I don't know what to say. Yeah. This is the finger millet. It's used powder, and I can make many dishes. This is ice cream. No meat, no egg, no milk, no sugar, but ice cream. I created over 3,000 attractive recipes and published more than 40 books. This too is in English and online books. Just by enjoying cooking and eating Tubu-Tubu Future Food, you can get physiological health, psychological health, cooking skills for independent life, from modern destructive and commercialized food culture. Modern diet is destructive to the environment, femininity, physical and mental health. A sense of unity with the earth you can get. Awakening of femininity. Mother Earth wants to feed us by grains. My experience, as I changed my diet, my kitchen became very simple and I began to enjoy cooking and dairy meals with a refreshed feeling from the bottom of my heart. Childbirth and raising children also became easier. Miracle. I have also avoided sickness for over 30 years without taking any medicine. 30 years. I gained a flexible and tough body, although I am 63 years old now. I have excellent eyes and I am not nearsighted. I feel my body getting younger year by year. The most important thing was that I could get all the answers to my earlier questions. Many other people who practice Tubu-Tubu diet have similar or more remarkable experiences. Tubu-Tubu activities. Tubu-Tubu Future Food seminar to learn about a whole system of food and life. Tenure seminar to learn about authentic femininity and the real structure of the world surrounding us. Life design seminar to learn about the truth of life and balance between femininity and masculinity. Tubu-Tubu vegetarian cafe and restaurant for people to come and experience Tubu-Tubu Future Food. Today, harmful effects of excessive masculinity seem to have reached its limit. Japanese people, especially women, are suffering from fear, anxiety, lack of self-confidence, physical and mental disorders, problems in human relations, and an ease of childbirth and child raising. Many women are questioning, what is real happiness? The Tubu-Tubu Future Food have helped them to solve these problems by themselves. Growing Tubu-Tubu network. Today, not only women but also their families are practicing Tubu-Tubu all over Japan. Moreover, educated women as instructors of those seminars are cooking classes. There are more than 50 women who teach Tubu-Tubu at home throughout the country. They aim to achieve economic success too. Tubu-Tubu is drawing much more attention among Japanese women. Cooking. And seminars, and 10 seminars, life design seminars. This is instructors. This is cafe, restaurant. Yeah. Bona Tubu-Tubu. Saying Bona Tubu-Tubu. Tubu-Tubu, cafe, plus Bona Tubu-Tubu. Tubu-Tubu family. He overcame cancer by changing to Tubu-Tubu diet. And natural childbirth in their rooms, in their house. Tubu-Tubu family too. Tubu-Tubu cooking class. This mother have 4 children and Tubu-Tubu cooking class in their house. Tubu-Tubu farming workshops, cooking classes, seminars. Tubu-Tubu family. Yeah. One of Tubu-Tubu instructor is with me now. I'd like her to talk about her experiences. Nobuko Takahashi.
Thank you, Yumiko. Yumiko, my mentor, introduced me, and I'm one of the instructors called Tubu-Tubu Mothers. By the way, as we are called Tubu-Tubu Mothers, Yumiko now is called Tubu-Tubu Grandma. Okay. Now let me quickly share my personal experience with Tubu-Tubu. Since my childhood, I was so interested in working for peace, working for solving problems in the world. So I visited many countries like India and Swaziland and Southern Africa when I was a student. But at the same time, interesting enough, I wasn't interested in getting married or having children at all, because I was raised in that way. My mother always told me that you can do whatever you want, you can go wherever you like, and work hard as equal to men. So in a sense, I grew up denying or ignoring my feminine nature. So in my early 20s, I got involved with consumer movement and organic farming movement. I worked so hard every day without rest and justifying it, I'm doing the right thing. But I was always fighting against something I couldn't change. For example, running a campaign against genetically modified food or chemical pesticides, criticizing Monsanto or other huge transnational companies. I was always upset, critical to both myself and to others. I felt always helpless, thinking I can't make any difference anyway. I didn't care what I ate. I always had some minor physical problems. I was mentally unstable and not happy at all. So, being as such, when I first met Yumiko almost 20 years ago, I just couldn't accept it. I felt these are crazy people just praying around, cooking and eating. So, sorry for Yumiko, but my attitude changed when I got somehow married and get pregnant, but it ended up with miscarriage. And a year later, I got pregnant again, but delivered my first baby by cesarean operation. I cried and cried, and these painful experiences opened my eyes, and I decided to change my diet and listen to my inner voice and a voice from my body. Then I took Tubu-Tubu seminar, and I thought, why did no one taught me such important thing? And that's how I started cooking. And as I enjoyed cooking and eating, my physical problems are solved, and my anger and anxiety disappeared. It was also a process of discovering and recovering my femininity. Today, I'm a mother of 4 children. I enjoy cooking every day. I'm feeling happiness and peace in my mind. And actually, I delivered my 4th child at home without any medical interference. Doctors said to me that no, you can do that. It's dangerous because I went through surgery. My womb might burst. But after practicing Tubu-Tubu more than 10 years and learning about the truth of life and truth of the world surrounding me, I just couldn't do that. So I had my baby at home. It's very peaceful, and I was so happy with that. So I'm offering cooking classes and seminars at home and public places. And now I'm certain that by realizing peace in my mind and in my family, and hand down this happiness to others, I can make changes toward a peaceful world. I cannot change the government, or I cannot change the big companies, but I can change what I cook and eat. And that's the idea of quiet and beautiful revolution. Thank you.
Thank you. It is time for women to be awakened, learn about life, and take a step forward for a healthier society. Especially cooking is one of the easiest and the most essential practices in our daily lives. It is also important to awaken femininity confined with men. Awakened female and male will cooperate to lead harmonious society. Tubu-Tubu Future Food is the key to propel such movement by recovering balance of our mind and body, reconnecting us to the Mother Earth, and recalling femininity confined in each of us. Thank you.
You know the saying, you are what you eat. So who's switching to a Tubu-Tubu diet? Right, and that's made me hungry. Really mouth-watering dishes we saw there. Before we break for lunch, perhaps you have a few questions. We still have time for a few questions. Go ahead. Yes.
Thank you very much for the presentation. I would like to ask if it's open for male cook the Tubu-Tubu cooking. Because you were talking about femininity, and a lot of cooks are actually, good cooks also are males. So, what do you think?
Yes, of course. Yes, of course.
Well, actually, her son is an excellent cook.
Excellent cook. Teacher.
And you just have one restaurant in Japan or more?
Just one.
Perhaps more Tubu-Tubu branches across Japan.
Yeah.
And well, international chain. Lady over there, the young lady. أيوة.
أنا اسمي نبيل، كلية زراعة، بدرس زراعة واتطرقت شوية في مواضيع التغذية والحمام، ففي سؤالين يعني حاجتين كانوا شوية مضايقني يعني، رغم إن التجربة كانت عجباني جدا جدا، بس موضوع إن إحنا ناكل على طول نباتات ده كان بيعمل ان احنا محتاجين شويه امينو اسيدز اللي هي الاسينشال مش موجوده غير في الاكل الحيواني. فدوت انا هعوضه ازاي لو انا اتجهت للاكل ده. تاني حاجه في برضو في السكر واللبن والبيض برضو في حاجات ما ينفعش نعوضها بالنباتات. دي اول حاجه. تاني حاجه الحبوب دي ممكن ما تكونش موجوده غير في اليابان. يعني مثلا في حبوب معينه مش هينفع نزرعها في مصر عشان اختلاف الجو واختلاف الظروف واختلاف التربه والحاجات دي كلها. هل ده ممكن نطبقه في مصر بحبوب تانية او بطرق تانية ولا لازم الحبوب دي مفيش حاجه غيرها؟ شكرا.
But there must be a traditional food for each places. So you can, if you learn the theory of Tubu-Tubu, and you can apply it to your local conditions. And for example, in Egypt, after we came here, we went to some restaurant or had breakfast at the hotel. We saw some round, flat bread, and also food. Oh, the cooked beans, and also pickles. Yumiko liked it, and these are the traditional food that suit the idea of Tubu-Tubu. So you can apply the theory to your local conditions.
What about replacing the amino acids and the milk, eggs, and it has special nutrients? Can you replace that? جزء تاني من سؤالك.
Well, that's the the common question we received when we introduced Tubu-Tubu. Actually, as Yumiko presented in her presentation, the grains contain almost all nutrients that human body needs. So we don't really worry about replacing eggs and milks and those things with something else.
بكل الغذاء اللي الجسم محتاجه. Yes, one question there.
أنا من فترة كان في صفحة على الفيسبوك اسمها بلانت بيست لايف. تقريبا هو نفس النظام الغذائي أنا ماشية عليه بقالي 25 يوم. ما باكلش ولا ملح ولا سكر ولا دقيق ولا لحوم. بس ممكن فترة تانية اخد كده حاجات بسيطة لحوم كده يعني. بس انا حسيت بفرق في جسمي، في راحة في المعدة تامة خالص، في حيوية، في وجع الركبة ووجع المفاصل اللي كانت عندي اختفت. وزني انا عندي مشاكل صحيه ثانيه فوزني بينزل بالراحه، بس وزني نزل، بنتي نزلت 6 كيلو في 7 ايام. اما بخصوص اللبن احنا بنعمل اللبن من جوز الهند ومن اللوز ومن الشوفان بنستخدمها. البيتزا انا جربتها بالرده وبستخدم جزء بسيط جدا من الدقيق مع الرده عشان اعمل عجينه البيتزا. انا عايزه اسالك على الجبن. كان في بعض الصور انا بس ما خدتش بالي، هل كان في تستخدمي جبن؟ لان احنا ما بنستخدمش جبن خالص يعني، كل منتجات الالبان عامه يعني ما بنستخدمش. بس
تستخدمش لبن؟
So important thing is to know what is necessary to our lives. So you don't need to compensate something to something, you know, like cheese or egg, because if you eat grains in Tubu-Tubu celery, that's almost enough. But if you keep only grains on like a bowl of rice, it's kind of boring and no one likes it. So that's why Yumiko created so many attractive dishes which look like cheese or meat or eggs. But it's just all grains. You are eating grain that's all what you need. So in order to know about Tubu-Tubu food, first you need to learn the theory more and then apply it to the local conditions.
One last question here. You raised your hand, right?
I'm so grateful for your presentation, and for your study of creating all these recipes, because that's the key. When sometimes we follow a healthy diet and this doesn't taste good. I've tried to eat millet before to be healthy, and I gave up after a few days. So one, I hope you have some video cooking lessons, because I won't be able to come to your cooking class in Japan. But if you had some YouTube cooking classes with millet, with sorghum, with amaranth, it would be very helpful. And I also want to say that this is the future of food for the earth if we're going to survive, because we cannot eat meat and milk and all these animals that we consume. It is eating up the water, it is killing our soil. So we are going to have to adapt to this kind of lifestyle, and I'm grateful to you for presenting it. Thank you.
Final question.
This is another question about support and Thank you so much for your Tubu-Tubu movement. I thoroughly enjoyed your presentation. This is not a question, but an addition as a support of what you have just stated. I have recently moved from USA to Ethiopia, where I'm staying with my husband. He teaches at the Institute for Peace and Security Studies. But while discovering this new land, I found that majority of people in Ethiopia live on a grain-based diet called injera. It is they consider it to be a whole full grain full of nutrients, and they hardly take any meat, egg, milk, or vegetables. And now they're going through the 2 months of the Easter season because of their association with Coptic Christianity. They avoid all kinds of milk, egg, dairy products, meat, or fish. And their main source of food is coming from this amazing grain-based diet called injera bread. And they're among the healthiest people, unlike what was my preconceived idea. They're among the healthiest people I've ever noticed. Thank you so much.
On that note, we can break up for lunch. Please be back in the hall at 4:15. But also an important announcement, there is a table in the restaurant, especially for the authors and editors of a course like you never know. So you ladies will get together at that table, but for the rest of us, we'll mingle and learn more, perhaps, from each other. Thank you. 4:15.